Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enemies and friends, welcome to the show that never ends. You are tuned into On The Real on the R Squared Network, where we keep you up to date on all the latest in the world of TV and movies. I am your host, Steve Johnson, and joining me today is my brother from the same mother who is trying to sabotage this show, Mr. Johnson. Say hello to
This
people.
is how y'all doing out there?
All right. And the last best hope for the resistance, Mr. Woods.
What up?
God,
All right. So we have a action-packed show for you today. We're going to be talking about
Fun fact.
Black Panther.
We got a fun fact. I keep forgetting about those. Tell us about these fun facts.
The Romans
The Romans.
used to clean their teeth
Okay.
with urine.
Interesting.
That's all I got.
That's all.
That's all you have?
I don't
All right.
have nothing else.
Is that a fact though?
No, it is a fact. Yeah, that's what they
okay.
used to do. Pretty
Okay.
disgusting stuff. Good times.
I mean, hey,
You
you see
know.
Caligula,
Yeah, I did. You can't get that out of your mind.
Google it, folks.
So let's. Why don't we just get the news started? How about
Right.
how
All right.
about we do that?
Right.
So first up on the list is apparently Joss Whedon is maybe parting ways with the DCEU because he's stepping away from this Batgirl thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He said exit stage left, huh?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if he was like, he saw Justice League and then he saw Black Panther. It was like, yo, it was good back over there at Marvel.
Yeah.
I thought he saw the situation. He was like, nah, I'm good.
Now,
The writing's on the wall.
right, there's other aspects to this though, because he was getting a lot of backlash, which is like super weird, like, because he styles himself as a feminist, and his wife came out with some like article a while back, and he was taking some pressure from the interwebs, where she was basically saying, you call yourself a feminist, but when we're together, you cheated on me, so somehow that makes him not a feminist. But
Why she gotta get on the internet and do all of that, bro?
Yeah.
It's just like, why?
So a lot
Why
of
you gotta
people are
publicly
saying-
shame me?
a lot of people are saying,
Get
why-
a divorce, bro. Did
even
you
though,
divorce her?
even
Did you
though
divorce
he
her?
did, they're divorced. I
Okay.
mean, he told her that he was being unfaithful. So, but
Yo, stay away from that feminist stuff. Yo, if you're a dude in Hollywood, stay away. It's gonna bite
okay,
you
so
Hey,
hold
brother,
in your
hold on,
behind,
brother.
yo. Shut up.
take-
Just shut up.
take it
Support
easy.
them quietly.
Yo.
Support them quietly
Take it easy.
from way back there.
and
There
he
we
gets
go.
a one shot.
Yeah, it's gonna bite you in your ass. Anytime any dude says anything, somebody gonna come out. Oh, but what's time? By that time he grabbed my ass in high school, though. What about this? What
Okay.
about that?
All right.
Shut
all
up.
right, Okay.
Is all I'm saying.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just
Stop
bring
being
it back-
PC, bro.
Bringing it back to me. But a lot of people are saying, like, since this is Batgirl's first time on screen,
Who
should
cares?
a woman be directing it? And is that a valid opinion?
Oh,
What do you
they're
guys
just.
think?
I mean, everything is for the camera and how it plays and how it looks. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they did Black Panther, they had to get a black director. It couldn't be anybody else.
Why
in it.
not? I agree with you, but why not? Like, articulate that.
Because to sell it and to show like equality across the board, it has to be presented in a
So
certain way.
shouldn't the same apply for a Batgirl?
But this is just being PC. All you have to do is make a good movie. It doesn't matter who directs it.
Well, somewhere along the lines, it was.
I mean,
it was
Stan
once
Lee
said
and Jack
that the
Kirby made
best
up the
idea
character,
wins
right?
the
And
day.
are they black?
But they're not.
Okay.
Somewhere it was the best idea wins the day. I've heard.
Yeah. Let a
Yeah,
bunch.
but-
You know what? Because like, what's his name? Mark Bernardin said this. Like, get the most creative people, get them that you can, and let them all shoot ideas at you. Don't just say, okay, you're gonna pick this one or pick that one. Let the person with the best idea do it.
Now, but some people would argue that
It doesn't matter the color.
meritocracies
Or the gender.
are a way to sort of perpetuate the establishment, because when one group, in this case men, specifically like white men, have had all the experiences, their products will maybe look better because other people haven't gotten a shot and a chance to develop in that.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say let the best idea win, or who could make the best film, What are they going to look at? The film track record?
Right.
You know what I mean? And
or
we
the
see
individuals who were in the offices, and what does that constantly
Hey
look
man,
like?
Ryan Coogler is batting 1,000.
Right, and this is only his third film out, so maybe
But
you
for them
actually need to
trust him to do it, it's just like they had to believe in his vision.
maybe you need to take a chance every now and again.
You absolutely do need to take a chance.
And let people tell that
Take
story.
a
So
chance,
again,
take a
I come
chance.
back to Joss Whedon, who's given us strong female characters in almost all of his work. Why is he not, or why do you guys think people say, let's get rid of him so that we can have a woman direct the Batgirl? So is that a valid point?
No, it's not a valid point. It's just, I mean, is this in this era of where anybody can say what they want on the internet, and then it's just like everybody has a voice now, it's there in print and it's there forever. When, you know, who cares what people think? They're gonna go see it if the trailer's dope, and you know, like they believe it's gonna be a good product, you know.
But isn't that the way Hollywood has been working for too long? I mean,
I was just gonna say that if there's a female director out there with the directing chops who actively wants to take on the project, the Batgirl project, and shows interest and puts out, you know, says like, okay, this is my vision for what I want to do. Why not? You know, so
I'm not saying why not. Well, I guess I'm asking why.
No, you're saying I understand why get rid of Joss Whedon and to say no, we want a female in there, but you know, have they interviewed some female directors? Have they given that opportunity or that chance to, you know, to see who else has an idea to play along with? You know what I mean?
So is he leaving, or they're trying to push him out?
I mean, we never know with these things.
Because it's just like they did to Snyder.
I think this is more of him leaving, but like saying.
Or is it them pushing him out? And it was like, look, y'all stunk it up with Justice League. Nobody like that.
And he just saw Black Panther.
And right. I mean, it's not necessarily right to just kick him out of it, right? But at the same breath, I can kind of see, well, someone saying, well, hey, let's give a female director a shot at directing this thing. You know, at directing.
There's a lot of female characters in DC.
When does this is like a completely, you know?
But what's wrong with giving a female director a shot at? Not all of those female characters are going to be put on the big screen.
I mean, why can't they?
When is this movie supposed to come out?
They haven't got greenlit. All they got is Aquaman.
I mean, technically, this is not really greenlit.
I was just about to say that.
Right.
You know, all they have is Aquaman, and that's crazy because it's just like how Black Panther is doing numbers, and then, you know, you got this movie right around the corner, you know, Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I guess I'm asking,
they're finished,
need to give more women opportunities, but do we fire Joss Whedon?
But is it justified to fire Joss Whedon? Right. No, I don't think so.
Whatever they're doing, they need to fix what's going on, bro. Whatever they need to fix what's going on at DC, because Marvel got their foot on their neck.
Right, but
they just need to forget about Marvel. They just need to fix
them.
That's what I said. They need to fix.
No, I'm
DC.
saying they can't even think about Marvel right now. They just like that's just like as a normal film studio, they need to get their act together.
Yeah, right. I think like after they see Infinity War, there's going to be like massive reshoots for Aquaman. It'll just be like push back indefinitely.
Well, side note to what you're saying about Aquaman. Evidently, if it's to be believed, that they did a test screening of some of the first shoots that they have of Aquaman, and people said it's very emotional and action packed.
I would just
that's what was put out there
to the delegation, to the comic book delegation.
Right.
They said BVS got a standing ovation. So
fanboys, bro.
I'm just saying.
Proceed
those
with
early
caution.
screenings are the family members of the people who made the film.
That's a bunch of people.
Okay. I don't know. That's
a bunch of people. It's a circle jerk, bro.
Right.
It's a circle
that's just
jerk.
what was put out
They're
there.
over there asking their own D's.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. Andy Serkis has for a very long time. I don't know if you guys remember the Jungle Book.
Yes.
Okay, so we remember the old cartoon. We remember the one that just came out, directed by Jon Favreau of Iron Man.
Right.
Made almost $1 billion. took the world by storm. Everybody loved it.
Bare necessities.
They even had that song in
Disney.
there.
Right.
So Jungle Book was back in the public consciousness.
Okay.
And the only thing
Young Tarzan, what they call him.
The only thing is, that story is in the public domain, so it's not owned by Disney. So anyone can make a Jungle Book movie.
Right.
So what happened was Andy Serkis's
But
studio
them songs
was
is definitely Disney.
Yes, Disney owns those songs. But they were making a movie about this. Has been in production just as long as the Jungle Book movie, but Disney got there first. And so this Andy Serkis movie was almost done. Courtney, what's happening?
Warner Brothers is the studio.
Right. So
let's be clear about that.
That's Courtney. Courtney.
Thank you for joining us. No. Courtney, you know Courtney.
Oh, Court, what up?
So, basically, this film has been in production since the same time. But when Disney got to the punch first, they pushed the movie on the back burner because you can't have two Jungle Book movies out.
Right.
So now they've basically let that breathe for a little bit, and now it's coming out. And his take on this movie is it's going to be more adult themed,
darker.
So they got a rating of PG-13.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be a hard PG-13. You okay with the sound?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been working on that for a while.
Appreciate you. Okay. So what do we think about this? What do we think about a PG-13 Mowgli movie that is going to be hard balls?
Filled with action, violence, thematic scenery, and bloody images.
2019, right?
No, this year.
This year?
Apparently.
They still might cancel.
No, apparently.
Because Disney announced, we're working on Jungle Book 2.
It's coming out in October. October of this year. Apparently. So. And it's going to be bloody images.
I think I saw a picture of like a naked Mowgli carrying a dead tiger.
No, I want to see what Andy Serkis is going to do. This is his first movie that he's directing, right?
It is, but a lot of the Hollywood studios would go to him to direct their CG scenes. Like, remember, Andy Serkis, I know we just saw him as Ulysses Claw in Black Panther, which, like, he was great.
Right.
And I actually want to see him not mocapped up. But he is Gollum from Lord of the Rings. He's Snoke from Star Wars. He's Caesar from Planet of the Apes. And he was Hulk for a little bit because he helped Mark Ruffalo with that Hulk performance.
Okay.
So, let's give the man. They need to give this guy his own Oscar. I think they're gonna make a category for motion capture because of him, but I don't know how you do it because then you got to give it to the whole animation studio along with the actor. I don't know how that works.
Yo, they need to start giving out Lifetime Achievement Awards more often. Like he needs one for. Body of work.
I don't appreciate Lifetime Achievements. I want retroactive Oscars. I want you to go back and take Oscars away from people
and start handing them to the rightful person.
They should have went to.
No, I'm down for
it. Is a damn
people
crime.
I'm looking at right now, but I'm not gonna say their names.
Damn crime. Angela Bassett don't have not one.
That's facts. I'm down for a darker theme.
3-6 Mafia got a goddamn Oscar, and Angela Bassett ain't got one. It doesn't matter. They have an Oscar. They are Oscar winning.
All right, Mr. Woods, who would you like to see get an Oscar?
Personally?
Yeah.
No, Angela Bassett.
I concur. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That's it. The eyes have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's the next on the list?
Real quick, I want to say about that Mowgli is that I wouldn't be surprised as you saying that if Disney just says like nah. And just shuts that whole thing down. Warner Brothers trying to put this thing out.
Like, yo, you want Avengers in your theater?
Exactly.
Why don't you just not play that Mowgli movie?
I don't know.
It gets like 3 theater release and then Netflix buys it.
Exactly.
So is there a trailer for it out?
No, which is weird that it's coming out this year. I'm just interested to see like what it is.
He said, have the conversation with your kids that they might not be able to see this one.
This one might not be for them.
And it's rated PG-13?
PG-13.
How would they not be able to see it?
Well, the little ones.
All right. What's next? We have Jessica Chastain says she would kick clown ass if she was in the next It movie.
Who's Jessica?
Is she getting tapped on the shoulder?
0 Dark 30. They're saying they want her to play Bev.
Oh, okay.
That works.
Also, I heard something that they may have Amy Adams and her in there because Amy Adams was also up in the runnings to play Beth.
So you
who was
since
my
they're
pick for
adults
Beth?
now?
I don't know. I don't
Amy
remember.
Adams.
Oh,
let me remind you, Amy Adams was
Jessica
my pick.
Chastain's getting the role though.
Amy Adams was my pick.
It's gonna be
Amy
rated
Adams
R,
is
right?
gonna be another adult. Yeah, it'll be rated R.
So you think they're gonna do the gangbang scene in this one since they're adults?
Wowzers, Fowzers. Okay.
It's in the book.
Next,
It's in the book.
Not today.
Next.
Anybody? Everybody's okay with Jessica Chastain?
Jessica Chastain. Yeah. There we go.
Molly's Game.
Molly's Game. Amy Adams, Jessica Chastain, whomever. Next
Red
topic.
hair. She's a redhead.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look it up.
And
Google it, people.
And we're moving on to the next thing.
Right.
Oh, in other news we don't want to talk about. How do you guys feel about Rush Hour 4?
I don't care.
Apparently this thing got a green light.
Who cares? It's like
Chris
I'm
Tucker's
gonna
happy.
see it though.
Courtney just gave us a coughing emoji.
Who cares?
Franchise is dead. Okay.
Yeah. Chris Tucker's happy, but
now,
nobody cares.
Time to talk about the good stuff.
Man, all I'm saying is Jackie Chan is gonna break his old ass hip.
First of all, this is like Chris Tucker needs to pay off some mortgages, so let's go back and do this thing. But that's
Jackie
how we're
Chan
talking
is still
about.
a
Isn't
great
he
movie star.
overweight?
Okay, forget about that. We're
You
done
see
with
Jackie
that.
Chan's
Too
most
much
recent
time.
movie?
It's too much.
You see what's
Yes,
happening right now?
I see what's happening. Rush Hour is taking up the show.
We just started talking about it
Oh,
though.
let's go
Clearly
back to
nobody
Rush Hour.
But you
cares.
just don't care.
I
No.
genuinely don't care. They
No.
don't deserve this
Just
much
brush
of
off on
our
it.
audience of Tuesday.
Man, didn't they bring you some
Oh,
joy?
it's a
In,
Tuesday.
I'm just saying, they never brought you some joy in your
Yeah, they
childhood.
did, and I will go back to my
Did you
childhood
not
for that.
enjoy the first movie when they were, whoa, huh, good God. You didn't enjoy that? You don't want more of that shtick?
No.
More of the back and
Nope.
forth?
No, I don't.
Not at all?
Keep it right where it
Not
is.
even a little bit?
Not even a
A
tiny
little
bit.
tiny bit of nostalgia? I'm going to support it.
Okay.
I'm not.
Fantastic.
Hey, man.
All right, now
I'll be the only one in the theater.
back to Black Panther.
That is facts. That is facts.
Black Panther is breaking all types of records.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, it is on schedule to be the fourth in history film that breaks the $100 million mark in its second weekend. And
So
that
it made
would-
$100 million again this weekend?
That's what it's on. That's what it's slated for. We'll find out
So
tomorrow
what
when
did it make?
estimates come in.
Find out tomorrow.
By the way, the reason the picture's up here with Justice League and Black Panther is that Black Panther in its second weekend is going to make more than Justice League made in its opening weekend. Black Panther made more in 4 days than Justice League's entire theatrical run in the United States and Canada.
Yeah.
Black
Poo poo in all
Panther.
over DC.
That's
that
crazy.
happened.
That is crazy. Like the
The
entire
Justice League.
the Justice League.
Batman, Superman,
Basically,
Wonder Woman.
DC,
Aqua, bro.
to bring it back to
Aqua,
them,
bro.
they said, yo, we brought you in off the bench, Joss Whedon, to fix this shit.
You couldn't fix that.
You can't. It's just like, how you going to fix that?
Well, Disney is making mad money.
Disney has the formula. Some would
Massive
say.
money.
So where do we think this
He's like,
film's
we
gonna
George
land
Bush
at?
this thing,
Like,
and we need you to Obama
we
it.
all
But
shortchanged.
he can't do it.
We all shortchanged what the opening weekend numbers were,
By a
including Disney.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was going to do this much. They knew it was going to be.
I
Well,
was
they had a
way
strong
off.
PR team. They knew they was.
Yeah, they
was
didn't
gonna
think
make,
it was going to
bread
do
off this.
better than Avengers.
No, nobody could
This is crazy.
have predicted
So
that.
now, what do we think this thing's going to land at all time? Do we think it's going to cross the $1 billion mark?
Did it open in
And-
China yet?
No, it doesn't open in China till March 5th. Where do we think this
Why?
Because that's how international release dates always are. They do it in stages. So it hasn't dropped in Japan or Russia or China yet. And
Right.
there's a bunch of other
You think
places.
it's going to do numbers over there?
I do. I absolutely do think it's going to do
I
numbers.
hope it makes all the money.
Now, again, where
Well,
do we
that's
think this
Disney
thing
making
lands
all
at?
the money.
Because right now it's tracking above Avengers 2, which made 1.5 billion. It is on par with Episode 8, which
Wouldn't
made
it be
1.3
super
billion.
crazy if it makes more than Infinity War?
Yo,
It's not gonna
honestly,
No, actually, it just might.
honestly,
If it do, what?
It just might.
honestly, because
He's like Black
there's a
Panther
lot of
2,
people
like greenlit super fast.
That's
It's
already
just like,
greenlit. They
No, but
knew
I'm
that.
just saying they're gonna push it ahead of like other shit on the schedule.
Right.
Ryan Coogler is not in any rush. I don't think.
They're gonna be like, yo, we'll get somebody else. This is a cash cow.
Oh, Courtney says that don't mean China and Russia haven't seen the movie though.
Yeah,
you gotta get down with the boot.
Right.
No. So the thing is, as much as we know, like logic tells us that everybody's gonna be there for Infinity War. When you get into the $200 million opening weekend, when you get into those numbers, it's almost a matter of physics how much more money you can make.
Right.
Because there's only so many theaters, so many screens, so many showings. And when you have a longer runtime, which Infinity War will have...
It's going to be 3 hours?
Almost 3 hours, like 2 hours and 40,
right.
whatever. So it's going to be the longest MCU movies. You actually can't fit in enough shows to make that kind of money. Now... And
yes, they can, because you know what they're going to do? They're going to be like, okay, put out all this other bum crap and show more of these.
Black Panther might still be going. Black Panther might still be going to May, first of all. Yeah. And
because it's just like, okay, if nobody's seeing these other movies, why not put this movie in more theaters?
Here's the other problem.
Because they have to keep these other other movies.
Here's the other problem with Infinity War. What do you call it? Comes out 2 weeks later. Deadpool. And then the week after that, Han Solo comes out, and that's all the same audience.
Black Panther all the same company.
No. Well, yes.
Yes.
Not Fox.
Not Fox, but it's about to be.
But the point is, those are the same audiences. There's no competition for Black Panther.
Oh no, Annihilation. Oh my bad.
Okay. All right. Thank you. There's no competition for Black Panther for weeks, and maybe A Wrinkle in Time will be the next big blockbuster, but I don't even think that's the same audience. So, what?
Regardless of whatever, Marvel is making still money, stupid money off of Deadpool because of like the toy licensing.
Just saying,
what's that?
The toy licensing, like they have a couple, like 2 Deadpool waves coming out around the time the movie come out.
No, I know, but that's going to eat into...
He's just saying the competition that's around Infinity War.
Infinity War's overall numbers. So it is possible that Black Panther could make more money than Infinity War, which is crazy.
Well, I want to throw this at you guys. Let's happens? What if, right? Since we got what ifs, and people who remember the old comics, there used to be these what ifs, amazing fantasies. Anyway, in the Marvel run, I have all those comics. Anyway, what if once it hits those international releases, there's a huge drop off,
falls off a cliff?
Yeah,
that happened with Force Awakens in China. Everybody thought China was going to take Force Awakens.
Return of the Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi fell off a cliff when it went to China.
Yeah, but China wasn't playing that. It was like, stop infringing on.
But you know what? Black Panther is like really in the Western.
China was making a statement,
and I think that China will, just to get on the bandwagon. They will see it because it's what everyone's talking about.
China will probably not get on any bandwagon.
Nah, but from what I'm hearing, when they showed it in other countries, like the people in the countries come there dressed in their traditional, garb of their people because that's what they see in the movie, and it brings a sense of pride in people and their, ethnical background. So,
I don't know.
I think see that in it.
So okay, so let's give us a number so we can move on to the next thing. Where do we think this is gonna go?
Total gross.
Total gross.
I don't know. It's like $600
billion.
Something. No, it's at 5 now, right? Domestically.
It's about to hit 600 this weekend after 7 days of release.
I want to say 892.
That's what it's going to max out.
You don't think it's going to crack $1 billion?
You talking about? She's saying total.
Total run. What do you think it's going to make?
Total run when it's all said and done out of the theaters. What does it cap off?
Total run when it's all said and done.
Let me just give you the top 5 Marvel movies.
Okay. Top five.
Number 1 is the first Avengers. That's not Captain America, but literally the first Avengers movie. $1.6 billion.
Okay.
The next one is Avengers: Age of Ultron with $1.5 billion. The one after that is
you said 1.6 and 1.5, right?
Yeah, 1.6, 1.5. Okay. Iron Man 3 is 1.2 something.
Right.
And then Civil War is also 1.2, but it came in a couple of million under Iron Man 3. The next highest one after that is what's the name of this movie?
Civil War?
No, I already said that. That's 4, because that was also 1.2 billion. The next one is Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
At like what, 1.1 billion?
No, I'm lying to you. It's Spider-Man, because that was
Homecoming.
880. Yeah, Homecoming 880. So that's And so I definitely think it has a shot because it's tracking higher than the second Avengers right now. It's tracking higher than Civil War. It's tracking higher than Iron Man 3. So this thing it's potential. This could do 1.5, 1.6. It could beat the first Avengers.
I say 1.2.
1.2 would be on par with Civil War and Iron Man 3.
That's 1.2.
That's crazy.
1.2.
That's crazy talk.
That's
I mean, in a good way. What do you think?
Yeah,
what do you think it tops out at? Just knowing what the other ones did.
I mean, it could fall off a cliff, but I was wrong over here.
Now you can be right.
$2 billion.
There we go.
2.
I feel like you have to do this.
It's a life, bro. $2 billion.
It all depends on how big. Honestly, this thing could cake up in Africa. Like it could.
So what's your number?
Super numbers. I am gonna call this one at Courtney. He just said Iron Man 3. Shaking my head. Tisk tisk.
Trash.
By the way, I didn't hate the Mandarin. I didn't hate what they did because it wasn't really the Mandarin.
Yeah, I felt like that. I felt like that was a reshoot.
And don't disrespect Shane Black.
That was a reshoot. They figured that out.
Now
I don't even know crap about the Mandarin character.
I am gonna go and say that this thing will do 1.5. I think it will be above the second Avengers. I don't think it'll catch 1.6. I take that back. I think it will beat The Last Jedi. I think it will be in the 1.3 range.
All right.
Because it's right on par with that. It has made like 1 million less so far, and it's more positively received. So around the world, I would think if China just likes it a little bit, then it could definitely be in the 1.3
Then it could crack
range.
over. Well, all that money for Disney.
So we called it just because we're going to come back to this video. I say 1.3. You say 1.2. You say $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yep. There you go.
Courtney doesn't think Black Panther will be accepted on the international stage. I say have faith. And Wolverine just dropped off.
He dropped off a cliff.
It's
Just
okay.
like
He's made of adamantium.
Okay, next. Bond apparently may have a new director.
25 years, baby.
Bond, is it 25 years or is this the 25th Bond film?
Either way. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Well, whatever. Danny Boyle of Train Spotting, Danny Boyle of Jobs, Danny Boyle of, give me another one.
I don't have another one.
Okay, fantastic. But Danny Boyle.
No, Danny Boyle 28 days later.
28 days later. All right. So, hey, Shreya, what's happening?
Hey.
So, Danny Boyle directing Bond. Do you think he's the right fit? I would have preferred Nolan, who was also high on the list.
I think Nolan will probably come around to a Bond movie, but he wants Daniel Craig is out because he probably has it. You know he's gonna get Tom Hardy. I just thought about it. He's gonna bring it.
So Daniel Craig is still doing those movies?
Huh?
Didn't he say he didn't want to do them no more
Yeah,
a while
this is
ago?
his last one.
This is his last one, his final one. He saw what happened with Logan. He was like, "Yo, what am I doing, man?" He was supposed to leave 2 films out, and then he came back.
I hear what you're saying though. But he's still, you say with Logan, but Hugh Jackman still might come back.
Hugh Jackman's up.
You think?
I know he's not coming back, but this is about Bond.
Right.
This is about Bond.
If the actors who are in the movies say otherwise and that they're talking to him, you think even just for one time? Yeah.
Bond.
We had a conversation about you seeing him one time and how that changes everything. Like you can't move from that.
Are we back?
Multiverse.
Are we talking about Bond right now? That's
no,
what we're doing? Okay. Because I think we're talking about Bond. Now,
Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine. You heard it here first.
Now, Daniel Craig is a good Bond, but he won't be Bond for much longer. But this is going to be his swan song.
Yes.
Good.
So, this is his final one.
Is Danny Boyle the right guy?
I think he's going to do a very well. All the Bond movies that Daniel Craig has been in has been stylistic to a T. So I don't see Danny Boyle doing anything wrong with it. I just don't know the story that he wants to go with. I think the story might be a little more rich.
That's next to him in the picture is Danny Boyle?
Yes.
That old guy?
Yes. He's director. He's directed a lot of movies.
But no, I'm saying who's going to play Bond?
No, Daniel Craig's still gonna be Bond.
Okay.
This is Daniel Craig's last Bond movie. Look, Danny Boyle is a traditional British director,
Right.
and a lot of his films speak to the British experience. So I think
I can't see him doing anything wrong with it.
right, and they specifically want someone with that angle. I'm just surprised that. And I mean, maybe it's different after this King Arthur thing, but I'd love to see a Guy Ritchie Bond film.
That's very different.
Yeah.
I think that's very different.
Look,
You're angling towards a Kingsman style of a film if you're going in that direction.
First of all, a Kingsman directed by
Guy Ritchie?
would be amazing. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
Get on it.
Look.
Now, but I like it, man.
the issue that I have, that the one thing I'll say before we move on about Bond, is that it's kind of getting, it's weird because.
By the way, Courtney, Courtney says if Justin Lin could do a Star Trek movie, then anything's possible. But that movie wasn't good. Now,
how many
please.
Bond films has Daniel Craig been in?
This would be the 5th.
I think this is his 5th. This is either his 4th or 5th. No, he had Skyfall.
Why? I haven't.
Yeah,
even,
this might be his 5th.
I may have seen
Casino
like.
Royale, Skyfall, Quantum of Solace, and whatever the last one was.
Yeah, I saw none of those. I maybe
You
seen
do
like.
not know what you're missing. Casino Royale
Seen like maybe-
might be my favorite Bond film.
I like
It's like
all of them.
origin
Is that the
story
one
for
where
Bond.
he jumped and landed in the train to fix his tire?
Was
That was,
no,
Skyfall.
that was Skyfall.
That's Skyfall.
That's when they
that
got
was
it back.
so
When
clean.
he's there like,
Oh, that was
you
so
know,
clean.
swag.
But no, but what I was gonna say about as far as Bond is that it's starting to get dated because of he's a chauvinist and sexist, and he gets drunk and he
You're
Oh, you
scaring
mean
me
like
from
Sean
yo,
Connery in real life?
multiple women and all this other
First of
stuff
all,
and things
I
like
think-
that. People take offense to
I
that.
think Sean
People
Connery-
take
Sean
offense
Connery
to
should
him.
come back
I
and play
think
Bond
Sean
one last
Connery
time.
actually
You
is
gonna see him
James
like in a
Bond.
wheelchair.
It's just like when I see Ethan Hunt, like I feel like Tom Cruise really does all of that.
Right.
That's how I feel about Sean Connery. Like
Yeah.
he's doing missions for the.
I'm just
the
saying,
British
people
government.
feel some kind of way when they see Bond on screen and like, oh, he's got this woman
Yeah,
just
but
that
it's
quick.
Bond.
And
You gotta
blah,
let
blah, blah.
Bond be Bond. Like let him have that.
He can't grow up from those tropes. I'm
Yo,
just saying.
Courtney says
There's a groundswell of people out there.
Bond in the Me Too era is not gonna work. But look,
See, Court knows what I'm talking about.
but yo, I get that. But like y'all have everything else. Just let Bond be Bond.
I don't know, man.
Let Bond be
He's
great,
a womanizer.
man.
That's how he works. Sorry.
That's what he do.
That better be
It's
the one. That
escapism.
better be the 1 minute clip.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm all for Bond, but I don't know in this era if it's gonna fly as well.
I look at it and accept Bond for who he is all I'm saying.
It might have the lowest numbers in Bond films.
What do you mean?
I don't give a
'Cause
crap about
all these Bond movies, all his Bond movies be making like $1 billion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying people are gonna get tired. People
Bond
are getting
fatigue,
tired of
yeah.
that. Yeah, of that trope of just him being Bond. We don't have a problem.
Is it people or is it Americans?
I don't know. It might be Americans.
Because Bond is like international. Okay.
Hey, man, people got tired of King Arthur.
Nah.
And that was a pretty good movie.
It was, but they
That was a
marketed
good
it.
movie.
They
Marketed
marketed
it
it
super well.
terribly, and I don't think Charlie Hunnam can carry a movie. I'm sorry.
Nah,
He works
that
in a
movie was
TV
good,
show.
bro.
The movie was fine, but I don't think Charlie Hunnam is a leading man. I think he's a great supporting actor. I don't think.
So you don't feel like he's worked his way up or he's recognizable enough for him to have carried that movie. If they
I don't think he has
advertised the
enough
movie
personality for
better,
it.
it could have made him
It
a star.
failed.
Well, they didn't know what they wanted
It
to be.
it failed in marketing, and I think Charlie Hunnam doesn't have the charisma to carry a movie like that.
Shots fired. He says you suck Charlie Hunnam.
No, you know
Steven
he's
Johnson.
great in other stuff,
Adam.
just not that kind of movie. All right, next here's
Charlie
some,
Hunnam is watching
Yo,
like on
he
the real,
said-
like yo, work.
Stick to Sons of Anarchy, bro.
Okay, okay.
Steve Johnson,
Now-
Adam.
Jude Law was a good villain in that. I think
Yeah, he
everybody was good in that except for Charlie Hunnam. Now
He wasn't terrible. Like
he
the
wasn't
shots.
terrible, but he was just all right.
Why you
That's
hating
the
on
problem.
Charlie
He was
Hunnam, bro?
middling.
Damn,
Now,
man.
Transformers.
Why you trying to
apparently-
Brandon
Oh,
Routh him,
God.
son?
Paramount or Universal, whoever has the rights, Hasbro basically,
Yeah,
is
making all that toy
doing
money.
they're scrapping their proposed Bumblebee movie, and they're starting from scratch. Sans Micheal Bay. They're rebooting the
Wasn't
Transformers
the movie scheduled to come out
Yeah,
this
it's not
year?
happening. Nope.
It's like,
And if it does come
Yeah.
out, it will not be in this same continuity. So
Yeah.
everything will be erased. So they're just starting from scratch. And they gotta die so they can be reborn. So Transformers as we know it will be dead, but coming back under new tutelage. What do we think?
Is the guy who has done Optimus Prime's voice still gonna come back? Because he has to.
I think he could come back.
Nah, man. I mean,
You
he
just
has
can't
to.
have Micheal Bay anywhere next to it.
Because remember when you first saw the Transformers movie and you was like, "Holy crap, it's the same dude doing
And
his
Micheal
voice."
Bay didn't
How
kill
dope that was.
anybody's childhood. The first Transformers was good, and Transformers was only designed to sell you toys in the first place.
That's what this is going to be as well. I mean, they want that, Paramount wants that cinematic universe.
Right.
They want, they want all that money.
It's a movie produced by a goddamn toy company.
They want to sell toys.
Hasbro. You know who makes all this shit on here? Hasbro.
Bro.
Hasbro makes all the shit on the set.
Bro. Okay. So, yeah.
I
think
I don't
Micheal
care.
Bay gets too much shit, but I do think they need to step away from Micheal Bay. I think he started it off well, and they should have given it to other directors. Like every good franchise, they don't put it all in the hands of one person. DC, but you can't, you can't do that.
Look, man, I don't.
The third one was good.
Dark of the Moon.
Whatever the third one was, the Battle at Chicago.
Dark of the Moon.
Okay.
Yeah, that Dark of the Moon was a good one.
Okay.
That's it. Dark of the Moon and
the first one.
The first one, yeah.
Those were the good ones. And then they brought in Mark Wahlberg, and it all went to shit.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I don't even want to think about it. It's gonna get me
Shia LaBeouf forever, bro.
Yo, he's
let him rap about it.
He's like yo. What if they brought back Transformers and The Rock was in it? Franchise Viagra.
That's it.
See, you know what's crazy? You know what's horrible about that?
If they said The Rock is the main, is he gonna make all the money?
No, it's crazy.
Jumanji is about to crack $1 billion.
No, but it's crazy that I don't care about I love Transformers as a kid, but I don't care about Transformers because of Micheal Bay. Okay. And then you was like, yo, what if The Rock is in it? I'm like, damn it. They just got my money.
Okay, but let me take it a step further. What if in this new Transformers reboot, because Hasbro owns all of this, what if they do the crossover with the G.I. Joes and it's a connected universe?
Boom.
Call me up. Listen, call me up, Paramount. I got some ideas.
You saw him side by side with that what is it?
And
Monster what is it? King of the Monsters or something like that? That movie that's coming out with? Rampage. Yeah, there we go. So
who knows? Like Skyscraper, Rampage? Let's go back.
Indiana Jones, it just
whatever.
Oh my god.
Do you have any interest in seeing either of those movies?
Who's in it? The Rock? Yes.
Just 'cause he's in it?
They already got my money.
Man, it's a couple of those movies. What was that movie, that disaster movie that he was in
zero
recently?
Interest. Oh yeah, that movie that made
Los
like
Angeles?
$600 million. Yeah.
Talking about that battle.
Yeah, it's the same director that's doing Rampage.
San Andreas.
San Andreas.
You saw that?
I didn't see it.
Okay.
But it made money.
So you don't see all those movies?
That's the only one I didn't see. And that's because at that time,
he was iffy on the rest.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
All right. So next,
that's before his career caught hot fire.
The focal point. And the focal point this week,
perfect timing. Good.
Where we try to sort of dig deep and get a little philosophical with you, is we want to talk about the business of black women in Hollywood. Now, Showtime had a documentary that was released recently, I think, or it just came across my radar via Mr. Johnson. And it was a documentary all about Whitney Houston, and it really just played out like it was a Greek tragedy. So just, if you can give us a synopsis of this thing, and then we can sort of bounce back off of you. Tell us about this thing.
The documentary, like as you said, it aired on Showtime. I believe it was called Can I Be Me?
Right.
And it's something that Whitney Houston would say a lot. Can I be me? She would say it, to her friends and family and whatever. It was just like a mantra, can I be me? But it's just like she never could be her. Right. And it's just like how people may view her as like a joke, like she's a punchline, or, view her as, a crackhead, or, those interviews where she had a rat behavior, right. Things like that. But she was more than that. She was a person. She had feelings and all that. You know, it's just dealt with like her struggles and her family life and the things that we don't see, and it also touched on that Whitney was bisexual. She was supposedly, it was the way they put it across that she was dealing with somebody who was like one of her helpers or her caretaker, manager, whatever, but she was always in the background and she controlled and made sure that things went right for Whitney. She would always be there, and then there would be friction between this girl and Bobby when she got with him. Okay. And the girl was always around, but then she just left. But even when she was there, she wasn't still dealing with Whitney, but they were close friends. But before Whitney even got with Bobby, it's just like it was in the tabloids that Whitney was messing with this girl, and then the family tried to shut that down.
Right.
But it's like, so ultimately people know the story of Whitney and what happened to her, that she ended up dying, but she really died of a broken heart. Like, her father was trying to sue her for money, her father who she loved, and he tried to sue her for $100 million or whatever the hell like that. She wasn't even worth that, you know what I'm saying? But he was trying to sue her for money, and it's just like, and you just saw, she was doing interviews talking about, that it hurt so much because it's for money. It's not even for, like, she would give him whatever, but, like, we're not even talking that he died still suing her. They did, it was still on bad terms. But
they never reconciled.
They never reconciled. But when she died, Bobby said, like, if she was allowed, to be with, Robin, or the girl, I believe her name was Robin, if she was allowed to be in her life, then maybe she wouldn't be dead.
And be her.
Yeah, if she was allowed to be herself. Because it's just like, Bobby was cheating on her. Bobby had moved on and got with somebody else, and it's just like Whitney had no one. She, she didn't have a father. Her mother was kind of jealous of her career, the way her career took off, and she was just like, "Oh, I taught that girl everything she know," and blah blah blah. So it's just like she had no one could talk to. Like, Bobby was like, could relate to her, but then after he left, she had no one. So it's just like she just reverted to the drug because she didn't want to feel anything. And it's sad that her daughter died the same way.
Right. So, and this is why I wanted to sort of just touch on this whole the idea of not just Black women, but that's where my focus is, right? What this, like, we talk about this for entertainment, but this business will chew you up and spit you out just for the bread and entertainment.
Right.
And Whitney is not like classically trained, right? She grew up in the church in Newark.
She grew up in East Orange and Newark, where we grew up.
And everybody sort of had their hands out around her, trying to get a piece of her, what she had.
Even beyond that.
And you see the same thing. You saw it with the family of Marvin Gaye. You saw it with the family of Michael Jackson.
Once there's an opportunity to make profit, right?
Yeah. There was
when you are the only breadwinner in a situation, everybody you see. Yeah. Listen, people see this right now when tax returns come in. So imagine when it's millions of dollars on the line. People get funny. Your family, the people you're supposed to love. Those are the things that just, it happens, and it's terrible. And with her, she connected with Bobby because they had similar personalities in this Hollywood industry where everybody's like pampered and pressed and well spoken. They were like just two people from the hood. And again, really it comes down to trying to live up to the expectations of others. Yeah. She had to put out records that she didn't. Dan, what's happening? She had to put out records that she didn't
wasn't feeling
put
that
out,
Clive Davis.
That's
what I was going to say. Yeah, did you see that part of it? Where they booed her?
Kind of fast forward a little bit. But that's the whole...
Like, they booed her at the Soul Train Awards because they felt that, she sold out and she had to stay there and just eat it.
I'm gonna say this now: Black people got to stop booing people.
Yeah, man.
They always try to
that broke her heart
down. But my point is, if she had something with that Robin person, and Robin maybe cared about her in a way that would say, "Hey, you are tearing yourself apart. You can't go down that road."
Yeah.
But everybody's like, "Well, is the gravy train coming?"
Yeah.
So they're like, go ahead, do what you, as long as you're making that money, do what you got to do. Right. And I think about the same thing when I see Kanye and the Kardashians, honestly.
It was like her bodyguard sent he wrote like a deep, a lengthy letter, stating like her erratic behavior, that the symptoms of drug abuse, and
And
that she had
addiction.
addiction. She had polyps on her vocal cords and all of that stuff.
Right.
And he was just like, "Yo, somebody needs to intervene or whatever." And then they sent him a letter saying, "Oh, we appreciate the information, but we'll no longer need your services." And because they was just trying to make money off of her.
They wanted to make sure the money, and so
The
one
money
of the
don't
things
stop.
that
Instead of making sure she's good, even if the money stopped for a little bit, no, just keep up going out there doing shows and let her do whatever, because they're making money.
And one of the things that what LeVar is trying to highlight with in terms of what the docuseries was doing and stuff like that is trying to remind people that Whitney Houston at the end of the day was a person.
Yeah.
Right. And so
Not
what we see,
not a joke.
And laughed at,
exactly. At the how
she was a real person with
framed
feelings.
in the end is just that, oh, she's just a crackhead, is Bobby, and she's sweating and she's looking all crazy and stuff like that. And what that Showtime documentary is showcasing is that this is a woman with a tragic story, that she
one of the
rose
greatest
from nothing.
voices of our time.
Phenomenal voice, strained her vocal cords left and right to always outperform herself, right? She was always trying to outperform herself and do the best that she can. And so people forget who she was, and then what she was trying to do, like you said, rise up, bring her family all along, leeching off of her, and bring them to light. And all it did was drain the crap out of her. And she could never be herself at the end of the day. She had to put on this face.
Right.
Transitioning. Go ahead.
She felt she had a responsibility, but all of that's true.
Right.
But at the same time, sometimes when you are guys like that bodyguard, or when you are the person that will speak up, the person themselves will put you out.
Right.
Right. So it could be times where, and this happened, people say this happened with Michael Jackson and these other people, where they're like, yo, you need to chill out. I don't need you here. I don't want to hear that negative energy. Get out.
Right.
Right. So it's same thing with Prince.
Right.
Right. And it's like, it is, once you get into that mode of yes men are all around you, when you have one dissenting voice, sometimes it's very easy to push that person away, and the yes man will back you up with that.
Right.
So I'm saying sometimes it's the star that pushes away the people that try to help them as well. That's another part.
The yes men start to surround them and work their way into their life, doing all the things that they want.
Start
and
whispering
then
in
whispering
their
in their ear, and just like, oh, you don't need to mess with that one. You don't mess with this one. Blah blah blah. But even though they know that whatever behavior is bad,
and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it becomes hard. Yes, but it becomes hard when it's just one person that still got your back, but the rest of the yes men is like, yeah, get rid of him. You're right.
But like what happened is, like, him and Robin, they ended up in physical fights, and it kept going. Robin, like her, whatever, her friend. Mm-hmm. But it was just like they'd always be constantly vying for her attention. Like if you watch it, you'll see this, but they'd be vying for her attention, like even in like photos or whatever. And it's just like you see him like trying to play fight with her, but you see her looking real uncomfortable up until 1999 when she just left. But it's just like she showed up at a funeral. But Bobby said, if she was still in her life, even regardless of whatever differences they had, sometimes you gotta let people be who they are.
Right. So, yeah, I think
because she couldn't be, because she was, people wouldn't accept Whitney Houston as this ain't now.
Right. They want the clean and proper marketable product.
Right.
That they could shrink wrap and sell to a general audience. And
in that situation,
and then the people around them want the money that comes with that.
And in that situation, it was very difficult, especially in that time, for her to speak out with any injustice that she may have felt, right? That she's going through. Now we fast forward to 2018, and we have someone like Viola Davis who's not afraid to
segue. One thing before we get to Viola Davis, the biggest tragedy of the whole Whitney Houston
her daughter
is that the same thing happened to her daughter.
Very tragic.
Died the exact same
because
way.
Of that same monster. So again, it's all for our entertainment.
Right.
And you
how
think,
far it's too far.
You think back to the Coliseum when people are fighting to the death.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I mean? And that's really at our base. That's what we laughing at. We want to see somebody die just for our entertainment. Then we say, on to the next person. Who's the next person we're gonna laugh at and point at? So we are all sort of in a way connected and responsible for that. But time to move on. So there's another side of this, not as tragic as the Whitney Houston.
R.I.P. Whitney and Bobby Christina, by the way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
not as tragic as that, but still important and something we need to talk about. I want to show you guys a video. This is Viola Davis talking about her experience in Hollywood. So we check it out, see what you think.
We won't talk about gender inequality of pay because a lot of the women who've stepped forward, and I stand in solidarity with them, okay? What they're getting paid, which is half of what a man is getting paid, well, we get probably a tenth of what a Caucasian woman gets. And I'm number one on the call sheet. And then
Oh, nice.
more than a 30-year professional career. I had a friend who said, yeah, but Viola, your career is better than my career. I said, yeah, but you can't compare me to you.
To
Because
Guy.
once again,
Don't compare me to Guy.
Wow.
the Emmy, I got the 2 Tonys. I've done Broadway. I've done off-Broadway. I've done TV. I've done film. I've done all of it. I have a career that's probably comparable to Meryl Streep and more. Sigourney Weaver. They all came out of Yale. They came out of Juilliard. They came out of NYU. They had the same path as me, and yet I am nowhere near them. Not as far as money, not as far as job opportunities, nowhere
Speak on it.
close to it. And yet I have to constantly get on that phone, and I have fabulous agents, by the way. They are getting it. But I have to get on that phone, and people say, you're a black Meryl Streep. You are, and we love you. We love you. There is no one like you. Okay, then if there's no one like me, you think I'm that? You pay me what I'm worth. You give me what I'm worth. And not, and even in terms of roles.
Getting money,
Because
man.
when I delve into a role, I
Give
want
her
something
coins.
complicated too. I do. Just like building the most unbelievable structure, a sculptor wants to build the most unbelievable building. That's how I feel. That's what I do as a human being, as an artist. I want to build the most complicated human being. But what I get is the third girl from the left.
Now, so
Facts.
all facts all the time.
Fax machine.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to make an announcement. There are no more facts left. Viola
Yeah.
Davis has used them all.
Right.
Now, so you know, it's funny that Courtney just brings up she got to be careful before she gets
get
the Monique
Monique?
treatment. But here's the
Nah,
thing.
she ain't gonna get the money.
Here's the thing.
Nah,
Viola
because she
Davis
didn't
is
ask
not
nobody to
Monique.
boycott damn something that costs $79.99 or free on your damn T-Mobile phone when it's like $200 a month for cable.
Monique is a completely different situation.
Yeah.
So
Ain't nobody trying to
Now, how do
boycott
we?
nothing.
And I said this to you earlier. How do we differentiate between what is actually like just the market speaking or what an actor is actually worth?
right,
Right. So sometimes it's race.
right.
Sometimes
It's
gender,
100% race and gender.
But here's the thing. Sometimes it's race, sometimes it's gender, but sometimes it's just the market. So, for example, Tyrese can't walk into a studio and be like, yo, I'm black, so you should pay me what Tom Cruise get. No, you're not as marketable
Right.
as Tom Cruise or Leonardo DiCaprio.
And your Tyrese.
But if
Here's the
Denzel
whole
walks
thing,
in
though.
there, then
Yeah.
yes.
right, exactly.
If The Rock walks in there, then yes.
right.
You know, so where is that line? Because
You have to prove that you're marketable, but you have to be given the opportunity first. You have to do and then kill it, or it's like the perfect synergy of things have to come together. Like the stars have to align. It has to be the right project directed by the right director with the right script, and you have to kill your performance.
The proper
unless
budget.
with the right budget. But it's just like a lot of times they give black movies when they make them, they give them the slightest bit of money, the smallest bit of money, and then it always overperforms and they're surprised. They give them the peanut budget and then they make hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars. It depends, but they always
Get Out,
overperform.
Girls Trip.
Yes, these
The
movies
Elephant in the
always
Room, or should I say The
overperform.
Panther in the
So
Room?
then when they do Black Panther, they're like, oh, they're shocked. But they could have been doing this, but it's just like they always give us a little and we make a lot. So now when they spent a lot, look what it does.
So and there's always a part 2. It's because she's in the DC universe right now, and they got this thing, this clause.
Right.
But She'll come to the winning side.
Well,
no. Courtney was asking where was she at in Black Panther.
Oh.
She bet on the wrong horse.
Right.
That's the problem there.
She's on that DC.
What do you think? Like what do you think about her comments? What do you think about the gender and race pay gap? What do we think there?
Well, obviously there is a gender pay gap, and obviously there is a race pay gap. Also, but it
How
should
much
be.
of that is business though? Like normal business.
Well, look, in business, you do have to. You're only good as what you previously have done, and so especially in Hollywood, which is a shrewd business all in itself. But we would be ignorant to think, or it's foolish to think rather, that race doesn't play a factor in any of these situations. And so, for Viola Davis specifically, and I said like hers is completely different from Monique, because Monique was sidestepping and saying all this other stuff and talking about her accolades about her. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, talk about her accolades about acting.
I'm the most decorated comedian alive.
And then it's like, yo, but what comedy shows have you done? Like you talking about getting paid for a comedy special? No, but it's not even that. Hold on, LeBron. She, and this is not about Monique, but I just want to point this out or whatever. Still, in that situation, like she is talking about, she's trying to get paid for comedy, right? With her peers, right? Who are comedians who sell out left and right, and not 10 years ago,
active
not
in
15,
the comedy
exactly, field. Or active, right? And she's trying to get paid off of that. And then when you ask her about her comedic performances and her comedic shows, she's talking about movies. So it doesn't relate. Now with Viola Davis, with Viola Davis, she is talking about right now in the past 30 years and current that I'm still putting in work, right? I'm still getting calls. I'm still being told to do this part, do that part, do this part. And every single time
they need a black woman in a movie, they call her first.
They called me first, and I knock it out the park. And everyone goes, man, you're like the black Meryl Streep. So she has a right to say, well, pay me like Meryl Streep. You know what I mean?
And I would even understand if they're like, yo, Meryl Streep got like 5,000 Oscars, but you can't give her Julianne Moore money?
Now, exactly.
Come on, man.
So when it comes to Meryl Streep deserves all the money that she's gotten. And I don't know how much she probably had to take it on the chin to say like, well, she wasn't getting paid back then. She wasn't. I didn't see. I wasn't.
So hold on. I want you guys to comment on something.
Pause.
So Courtney just said.
I didn't. Oh my god.
No, there was a.
That's why I heard you. I'm like, yo, I didn't even beat it like that.
Me too.
Courtney's talking about the run in the 90s of black movies like Love and Basketball, Love Jones, all of that, and then they kind of just stopped. But like, I guess so with those movies. Those were interesting movies, but it was like. I guess he's right because those weren't like the typical like it's a black movie. It was just like she plays basketball or Love Jones was like a love story. And so I think we need to see more diversity in the kind of stories we tell. Right. I don't want to see a million black like this was my problem, and I'll come back to Viola Davis, but this was my problem with the whole thing around Birth of a Nation, right? And
I'm tired of slave movies, bro. I want to see more kid movies.
But listen
yo, give me what Michael Jackson gave us in the 90s and a black movie with damn Egyptians as black people. I want to see it.
They did that. It was called Gods in Egypt.
There's something I want to.
No, hold on. Let me just get to this point.
All right.
So my problem.
Yo, DC, get on that Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Please don't do that right now. But my problem with the whole.
Give it a year.
My problem with the whole Birth of a Nation thing is that, and we had this long discussion about this, but after 12 Years a Slave sort of like got all the accolades, Hollywood was falling all over themselves to sort of jump in on the money train, but that money train was slavery and showing people of color in bondage, right? And so you saw all kinds of things get greenlit, like stuff. Free State of Jones and all these other things. And it was like, Hollywood, you're trying to... Don't pat yourself on the back because you're making slave movies.
Right.
You saw 12 Years a Slave, which is a dope movie. You saw that did well, and you want some of that gravy. Right. And so the reason that Birth of a Nation, which I think would have been better and more well received if it was on Netflix as opposed to a theatrical release, because more people would have sat down and watched it and paid attention to it. Not unlike Beast of No Nation, but because they wanted to pat themselves on the back to say we did this, there was a bidding war for that movie. And the movie itself, it didn't, I guess it sort of fell apart in the end, and we can get into the discussion about
the third act did get a
the
little
original
man, black
because
feminists derailed that shit.
The whole movie was
you're right about that
the whole movie was about the suffering of black people, and then the third act was like, okay, we're gonna take this back, and then he dies instantly. Like
but
Birth of a Nation was a propaganda film. So if it was going to be propaganda
it was to start
way,
the original Birth
if the original Birth of a Nation was a propaganda film, then make this a propaganda film and take some creative license.
They took my creative license, but I thought he was going to use it to try to start the revolution.
Yeah, but it didn't. It didn't play that way.
I think, but see, exactly with what LeVar just said, right? Some people thought that this was going to start a revolution, right? And hold on, or a race war, or something to that effect. And I think that in itself, right, is, and I don't know, we don't know, because we're not in any of these executive heads or anything like that. That's exactly why he derailed it. But where you say, well, if you want to try and do your own film, because he's like, yo, what if we turn this on its head and we had this fight back, and Nat Turner was the one who led the charge, right? And Nat Turner he's saying Nat Turner was the first comic book hero people should look up to. Just think of it in the first African American that people should acknowledge as a mythos, right? As this character, right? And when he goes to these executives and say like, yo, this is how I want to do blah, 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 this and this and this and that, whatever. Whoa. Nat Turner died. Whoa. You're going to start a race war. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. No, let me get this out. And he's like, and so when that happens, you have to go back to rewriting the script. However he envisioned, we don't know for sure. But then when you come out, LeVar just said like, well, yo, I thought it was going to start a revolution. I thought we was going to see it. And instead you see the third act where it's like, yo, he's dead. That's it. It was like, well, keep this true to form. As you just said in the beginning, the Birth of a Nation, the original, that was a propaganda. There was nothing but BS all in it. But there's a difference there, is it not?
So I do want to come back to Viola Davis because the whole point is
exactly. But I mean, you went that way, so
my whole point was that sometimes business does its thing. But Aiden, thank you for listening, by the way. But Aiden says at the end of the day, it is up to her as an actor to push her agents to get her more pay or refuse parts, and the more she takes parts at lower rate, the more they will keep doing it, and that goes for actors of all races from all different classes. It's just the way the movie industry works, and I understand that, Aiden, but there still is an element because what happens is, okay, Viola Davis, you're not gonna take this part. You know who will? Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
Octavia Spencer don't want it, which I feel like Octavia Spencer kind of took Monique's spot.
Right. She super took it.
But then they'll go to Monique. They'll just go down the call sheet.
Right.
Like it is a thing that, like, if the initial offer, and I get Hollywood studios, they want to pay the lowest amount they can.
Right.
But they also will just think to pay you less, and there is an issue, and this is not just Hollywood, because when a woman sort of fights for her position, and again, by the way, Aiden, I would argue that this interview, which people are talking about it or whatever, is a thing that is another bargaining tactic,
right? It's
because now it will be bad press for a studio not to pay her more money.
Right.
So if that is your argument, then yes, maybe she agrees with you too, and this is just another bargaining chip, which is what you have to do in this industry. But traditionally, women do get paid less, and some of it is just business. But
and black women get paid even less.
But it's not all business.
Right.
Some of it is something else that unless you speak about it, like it's business. Go get this money.
Right.
Whatever they're paying her, I guarantee this is more than I make per year.
Right.
Right. But unless you speak about it,
All three of us combined.
then no change will happen. So she has to go out there and talk about that.
Right.
Okay. But now on to what would you do?
Right.
So, I'm still in Black Panther mode.
Clearly.
The Walking Dead finally returns after their hiatus this Sunday. And I just want to say, if you're not up to date in Walking Dead and you still care, you should tune out now. I'm just giving everybody a warning. We're going to talk spoilers. Right. Okay, so in the last episode of The Walking Dead, at the mid-season finale, we find out that
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Spoiler. Don't complain after this. Now, we find out that Coral got bit by a walker because he was doing something his father told him not to do.
Help people.
And now, no, that one kid.
Right.
Whatever his name was. But he is bitten, and there's only one way out of this, and he's going to turn to a walker. So my question to all of you is, I just want to go around, what would you do? How do you want to see Carl go out? Who wants to take this one first?
I haven't even thought about it. You want to go last, LeVar?
Whatever.
He doesn't care. No, you can start about. I need a thought.
Okay. I will start it off.
Okay.
So, I think that I would like to see, and this won't happen, right? But I would like to see. I'd like to see that he's not dead, and it was actually what's the guys that wear the thing over their face? They wear zombie stuff all of them. The Whisperers. I'd like to see it was actually a Whisperer.
I'm not in Walking Dead mode yet.
It was a Whisperer that bit him,
right? And
not
so
an
it was a
walker.
human that bit him.
Yes, and he just got a fever.
Dumbest shit I ever heard.
Since it's so
that
dumb,
ends that.
What's your opinion, Mr. Johnson? How do you want to see Carl go out?
Carl ain't gonna go out. What I think is gonna happen. This is just wishful thinking, though. If anybody remembers the episode where Rick was looking up and he saw a helicopter,
right?
Maybe that helicopter is gonna get Carl and bring him to wherever and cure him, and then he gonna go to college for whatever because he wanted to go to college. And he gonna come back in like a season or two. Be like, oh, I'm back. They healed me.
Yeah. Okay. If you thought people were mad when it was like, yo, Glenn hid under a dumpster and he was fine for the 1,000 hungry zombies.
You see Carl in the helicopter going to college, coming back, hey, Dad.
Hey, man. I learned so much new stuff.
I just wanted them to explain to me the old man Rick thing because Carl was in there.
Carl.
Unless this whole thing was a long con of him growing his hair, so that was actually a girl.
No, that's crazy. Come on, stop that.
It's the long con.
That's out of control. What I would like to see, Carl. I would like to see Carl go out. He gives a speech to Rick and the group, and he goes up there and he bites one of these guys' lieutenants or something like that.
Yeah, but that's how they did this chick, Sasha.
Okay.
You can't use a zombie bomb.
You know what? So then, you know what? He uses a grenade.
Important.
No, he uses a grenade, blows up the whole complex.
And kills himself?
Well, isn't that Alexandria? Oh, then Alexandria.
No, this is what I want to see him do. I want Carl to be the one that kills Negan. And that's it. Season finale is the season premiere. Grand opening, grand closing.
That's it.
He walks up. He just walks in there because Negan already likes him. He walks up to him like, "Yo, bow, done."
Right. Okay.
Take himself out.
There you go.
Call it a day. You know what? That's the series finale. That's how you go out. I'd be happy with that.
I think nobody would complain.
Done, son.
Anybody else?
I don't have any. I don't know. I don't know
any
how.
Expectations. Look, I just want to see Michonne do some Okoye moves in The Walking Dead. That's what I want to see.
Michonne's coming back to season 8.
And she gotta go back there and be dirty and all of that.
I gotta be dirty again. I gotta wear these dreads and all of that.
Stupid dreads. I was just black royalty.
That's nothing against dreads, but it's like, she's got to put that wig on or whatever.
And she has to put on dirt, like actual dirt.
Yeah.
Where she was in the royal kingdom.
How hilarious would it be if Michonne just takes double dreads and goes to the
throws it at Negan.
Throws it.
catch
crossover.
somebody.
Like it was Michonne was the long con. You know how Wakanda sends out spies?
Right.
Like this whole time
She was
Michonne
out
was
there.
a Wakanda
They're gonna
spy.
throw an RPG at her truck, and she's gonna just kind of go off of it with a sword
Look,
and just
Marvel Studios and AMC, the Walking Dead are all in Atlanta, and they film like almost across the street from one
Right.
another.
No,
So-
I don't know what to expect this season. Hopefully it's just not the same old stuff. Oh, side note though, technically, Gimple might be out. Well, he's like the head of.
Yo, it's crazy how he was the man for a while.
No. Well, here's
Like out completely.
no. They shifted his
They moved
title
his role and gave
They've
somebody
been
else the
did that,
showrunner.
though.
to
By the
some
way,
operation stuff.
Aiden brings up a real point, and this is really why I wanted to talk about this. Is
What?
Carl is weak, so he can't go out fighting. The only thing that could happen is that Rick has to put him down.
That's gonna be emotional.
Jeez.
That'll pull on the heartstrings. That's a good catch by Aiden. That because you're gonna see Rick have to take out his own son.
That's gonna like the way that's gonna affect them for the season, bro. Like they're not gonna just bounce back from that. Like
Yeah.
Yo, and then Andrew Lincoln's gonna give that performance, and you're gonna see all of that sweat.
the boogers
Off of
and the
his,
snot, the
yeah, it's
snot
gonna-
bubbles.
First
He's
of
gonna give
all,
that performance.
Courtney says Wakanda is safe from the zombie apocalypse. I think. What
Did
if
you
the
see
zombie
Thanos
No.
hit that area?
What if the zombie apocalypse was Killmonger's plan B the whole time? So even if he died, he let out the zombie apocalypse on the Western
man.
world.
He told him hold that.
And clearly, Shuri got the cure.
Right.
Now, yeah, I mean that's it. And
No, that's a good call by Aiden.
yeah,
That is probably what's gonna happen. Actually, that's accurate.
then it's gonna be another downer of a season.
They
See if we
can't
can
do
make
that
it through
again.
this.
Like 7 episodes of just depression.
Yeah, and Courtney says Carl had to take out his own moms, so
The circle of
he
life.
might off himself because that's how Carl gets down.
Who knows? I
Like, yo,
mean,
Dad, you soft.
the baby is growing at rapid pace. She might just Judith.
Yeah.
Judith just might come
Judith
through.
might do it.
Yeah.
She needs somebody.
Like remember in Game of Thrones when the boy stabbed this dude, Jon Snow?
Oh yeah.
Judith
yeah,
might just come
yeah.
through and
stab him and be like, "Yo, for the watch." All right, folks. I think that's it.
that's enough for that.
Mr. Johnson, tell them where they can find you.
The dude abides with a Z and a couple periods in between.
All right. Maybe we can, keep the party rolling. Mr. Woods, where can they find you?
Why Woods Why Not on most social media outlets or whywoodswhynot.com.
Also, almost forgot to ask, what are you going to be watching this week? Aside from The Walking Dead.
Nothing.
TVs, movies, nothing. Walking Dead is it for you?
Well, no, I just saw Annihilation.
All right, we should
So-
do a review for that, but or not.
Or not. Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, what are you watching this week? TV, movies, anything?
Probably watch
documentaries?
Black Panther again.
Black Panther again.
It's gonna
Good
get all
call.
the monies. I gotta help him make that 2 billion, I should say.
Yeah,
$2
because you were so
billion.
wrong the last time. Now you got to
Donations
to
invest money.
Disney.
Put your money where your mouth is.
80 mil, I said.
All right,
What was
and
that?
myself,
Disney's War Chest.
this week I am going to watch Mute on Netflix. It is the Duncan Jones movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Courtney says he's watching The Tick. That's interesting. I heard that was
Season
good.
2.
Yeah, see?
Season 2 is out.
Not even one. Oh, also I'm watching Homeland because it's back and it is better than it has been because I kind of got tired of them killing Muslims. But Homeland is one of my favorite shows.
And you just reminded me, I'm gonna watch Memento.
There we go. There we go.
Because that's
Oldies
about
but
to
goodies.
leave
About to leave
Netflix.
Netflix. I went on my Matrix binge before that left.
Yeah,
Family
yeah.
Guy also just left Netflix. So with that, I am your host, Steve Johnson, and you can find me at Steve A.M. Johnson on your favorite social media network as long as it's not Snapchat.
Snapchat.
There we go, folks. Thank you for watching. It has always been a pleasure. And check out our other shows, the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood. And if you're into if you want to hear about fathers,
Right.
talking about fatherhood stuff and life, and basically we're being under attack by our children and girlfriends and wives
At all times.
At all times, there is no hope. Also, if you're into politics, you can check out the second page, which is we talk about Trump all day. It's a Trump bashing show. No, it's not. It's not. But we try to get serious.
Talk about Trump every damn show.
And that's
he
it.
Is like
folks.
the centerpiece of it.
He's good for ratings.
In Trump news.
Yes. So that's all we got for you. And always,
the clown show continues.
Hugs, not drugs. But I have to add an addendum to that, which is Wakanda forever.
There you
All
go.
right. Always and forever.